Hello there. I'm really warm. 24 degrees. Let me set up my aircon. Luke. I'm not sure if I like this chair yet. I have 30 days, up to 30 days to return it if I don't like it. I think it's comfortable, but I'm not thrilled with it. But I don't think a chair's ever going to thrill me, so. It's sort of like a little pillow at the back that you can like remove. So I can do that. I can do that. That's pretty nice at least. I wonder why that thing's on the bottom right of my chat. Then the YouTube not found thing. What about chat? What is... That's the Twitch chat, is it? Oh, no, that's the YouTube chat. I'm being stupid. That's fine, then. That makes sense why it's doing that. Mm. Let's fix the YouTube chat. Let's go somewhere else. Wow. Let's go somewhere. I don't know how much. It doesn't seem like that's being picked up. I might sound a little bit weird because I got the aircon pumping out some fresh air. And water as well. One second, let me fix the YouTube chat. I need to copy that link. Where is it? YouTube chat. Here we go. The bog standard office chair, but the problem, got no natural padding here, which means you have to kind of use the pillow. Pillow offers a lot of padding, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm gonna use it for a couple of weeks, see if I like the feel. And if I don't, I'll return it and get a different one. Probably gonna use it for like a week actually if I don't like it. The pillow's nice, but you don't obviously need it. You can obviously just do that. But I don't know. I don't feel that comfortable sitting on it. Like my lower back doesn't feel comfortable. And I don't know if that's because the lack of cushion, I'm being forced to have an additional cushion. Right? So it's a bit of a weird feeling. So we'll see. If not, I've already got one in my sights that I can replace it with. It's post my stream. Because like without the pillow, it just doesn't have any cushion at the bottom, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Like I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell how comfortable I am. Get close to the desk. I usually sit like quite leaned down like this anyway, which I don't know. But if I lean like this, I wanna. Weirdly enough, I miss the broken wheels because I usually put my feet up and push my feet at the back of the desk, sort of as my like a footstool. But when I push on the back of the desk now, I push the chair back, and I'm just like, oh. It's good. No sense. Ugh. Oh yeah, I've not posted that on streaming. Because like for this, I'm obviously going to lean forward. So I'll sit back like this and lean. But without the padding there now, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I could have also got microfiber over velvet. I have to admit, the velvet's very warm. Like, my back's not sweaty. It feels like it's almost sweaty, though. That's how warm the velvet feels. So I don't know yet. It's the problem about I have no stores near me where I could go in and test out some chairs. The closest I've got is B&Q, and when I looked online, almost none of their chairs are in store. So I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know if I like a chair if I can't sit on it first? I wish I knew exactly what my first ever chair was. That was the most comfortable chair. Yeah, like velvet. I'm just reading a comparison. Velvet's thicker and thus warmer. I'm sitting here like, do I like that it's warmer? Like in the winter, it'd be nice. What's left to do on this scene? I'm still not finished. I need to finish off getting all the paintings done. Pretty sure that one doesn't have anything in it. Like, as in the concept doesn't have anything. Yeah. Same with that one. They're both just, they look empty. Maybe the angle is supposed to be that like they got enough sheen they can't see anything, but that's fine because that's the angle I'm going to be taking pictures from anyway. So I need to do this one, this one, this one. That one's done. Done. What is left? These frames down here need to be done. Oh, this. Paper's done. Yeah, that's it, right? Just that. Oh, and then drawing some of the wood grain on the wood. Yeah. One thing I kind of want to do is put glass in front of that, because if we look, there is glass in front of it. I know we haven't put glass in front of these because we just went with hand painting it to look like there's a reflection. But equally, that's basically a rectangle. I could just get a plane in engine, scale it to fit sort of inside that, and then, you know, increase and decrease the values to make it more or less transparent. But there's the possibility there where it shouldn't be too much of a hassle. My throat has been terrible lately. I've got an insane amount of bug bites and super itchy. My tooth has been playing out. For those of you who don't know, I think it's only moderate here at the moment anyway. About 3-4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, out of nowhere, a chunk of my tooth just vanished. I don't remember swallowing it. I don't remember biting into it. I remember the sharpness, because when it broke off, a part of the tooth was really, really sharp. I remember scraping my tongue on it while I was eating and feeling like a sharpness. I'm like, oh, whoa. And then when I looked at it, yeah, there's like basically a chunk of my tooth missing. There's like a big hole in it now. Like, if your tooth is, that's terrible. If your tooth is like a molar like this, right? My one essentially has it going like this. So all this part came off. And it's not just solid when it comes down there. It, like, as it comes down, it goes sort of into my tooth. So I can get all the way to sort of here if I were to prod something with it. And it usually feels like it's fine. I can't really eat food on it because it gets stuck in there. Less for, like, it's not particularly that uncomfortable. It's more that food gets stuck in there. Recently, which has happened before when it sort of first happened and maybe like a couple of months after, it's just got really sensitive. I was laying in bed last night. My ear, it was so painful. Well, painful. The thing with tooth pain is it seems to, it like covers a much wider area. Like it doesn't just hurt here. It made my whole jaw feel painful. Not too painful, but like there was pain. And it made my ear, I could feel like sort of a pain in my ear. That's how much it had traveled in that area. But freaking, you go on the NHS website. I'm actually going to contact them because apparently you can contact a specific number if you're having trouble getting into a dentist. I've been trying to get into a dentist for like 3 years, ever since it happened. Find a dentist near me. Now, admittedly, I could go private, but even the private dentists near me aren't taking new patients. Only taking NHS patients referred to by another dentist. Not accepting. Not accepting. Other dentist. Not accepting. Other dentist. This one I've called up before. Not accepting. They've just not updated it on this. Other dentist. Not accepting. Not accepting. Other dentist. Other dentist. I go on this site probably once every 1 to 2 months for the last 3 years. And I assume it's because of COVID, maybe. I've just not seen it open up. I literally have a broken tooth. And I can't get into a dentist. Nope. Nope. I'm not a child. This one I think I called as well. Yeah, this one I called as well. One accepting. Not 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 accepting. And then I kind of just stopped at this point because it's already 17 miles away, which is a decent distance to not want to go for a dentist anymore. So I technically probably haven't called this one up. Hey man, you should go dentist and fill it. You can fit. I'm trying, Mark. I'm trying. But they refuse. No dentist, not even private. I've contacted private the last 3 years. No one's available. It's like they want to see the local people like suffer. Well, not suffer, but they're just not accepting anybody. It's crazy. But there's a number you can apparently call if you're having trouble getting into a dentist. I'm hoping I can call them and maybe they can help get another dentist to refer me or something. I don't know. So hopefully we can actually get my tooth fixed. It won't even be fixed. They'll either be filled or completely capped. I'm not sure yet what would actually happen to it. My monitor's dusty. But yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. Like, I can't... I've never in my life seen dentists this unavailable. I used to go like every 6 months. Or they'll probably just remove it. But then they'd have to put it with a false tooth there anyway. I don't care what they'll do, to be honest. I'm fine with whatever they want to do. I just want the problem resolved. Because I've probably got other small cavities that I'm not aware of. Because I've not been to the dentist in like 4 to 5 years. Because I've just not been able to. All photos, that is right, alright. Yeah. It's bonkers. That is why I choose to fly back home to Hungary and get a proper treatment. Yeah, you had the same problem. It's so lame. I would have thought, like, by this point, or at least they would let you go on a waiting list. Like, I would have thought at a bare minimum, you could sign up to, like, a dentist waiting list and it'll get you into a dentist close to you if they start accepting patients again. No. Nothing like that. I've checked every 1 to 2 months. Maybe there are some windows that I was unlucky and missed, but I've just not been able to get into a dentist. And the last dentist I had was back in Bedfordshire, which I've not been to in, like, 5 years. Something like that. Which is the last time I would have seen the dentist. Wait, it's got to be one of the top layers, right? This one? Yeah. So this, like, effect is really, really simple. All we do is get the line to how thick I want it. Set up the hardness to almost max, because I don't like super, like... I don't like the edges being too insane. If you're getting bad results here, you can always set it to camera. And as long as you get your camera straight, you should get some really nice lines. I am not close to London. It's about a 3-hour train. If I really, really, really wanted to get one, I guess I could probably travel very far. But it's just like... I was just holding out hope that a local dentist will eventually open up for me to go see. Similar to the doctors. So, at hospital, I've had a problem with my throat for the last year. Longer. Year, 3 months. A year and 3 months ago, I went to my doctors. And I told them, I have a problem with my throat. If you actually look up the symptoms, it's very similar to GERD. G-E-R-D, where it... Oh, no, actually, globus? It was like... Basically, the sensation of not being able to swallow when not eating. I can eat and drink fine, but when I swallow, it feels like there's a very thick or lump in my throat. Like, or thickness, right? So I went to the doctor's about it. It's very uncomfortable. It's lost me probably hundreds to thousands of hours worth of sleep throughout the last year. I went to the doctor's. He prescribed me, for like a month, he prescribed me hay fever tablets, basically. I was like sort of a bit confused by that because my symptoms don't really reflect hay fever. I went back after a month, told him it's not working, doc. So he prescribed me stronger hay fever tablets for a month. After 2 weeks, I told him, Doc, this isn't working. Like, nothing's changing. It's clearly not this. He then put off putting me on a waiting list for the hospital. And then finally, he was like, we'll put you on, like, last September. He put me on a waiting list. Last September, so 2022 September, he put me on a waiting list for the hospital for an ears, nose, and throat doctor so they can have a look at my throat. A month ago, they saw me. It took over a year of me waiting with this issue before I was even seen but before a doctor even looked into my throat, because I need to clarify, my doctor, despite seeing him like 6-7 times, he didn't even ask me to open up. No, open up and let me see. None of that. None of that. He didn't even look. Because what if the problem was just tonsillitis, right? Surely an average doctor would be able to go, oh, let me have a look. Oh, your tonsils are completely like inflamed. They're really swollen. It's tonsillitis. We're going to have to get them removed. No. None of that. He didn't even ask to look into my throat. So I had to wait a year and 2 to 3 months to get one doctor to finally look into my throat. And funnily enough, he didn't even just look into my throat. He got one of those like cameras, slid it up my nose, and it goes, wee, and then he looks into your throat. It was really weird. And then he realized the lens was smeared, so I had to take it all the way back out, clean it up, and then put it all back in. But I was very happy that I finally got saw by somebody. It's right now, if anyone asks me, do I think the NHS is good? My answer will be no. And I know that upsets some people, because some people have had very good experiences with the doctor. But from my personal experience, the doctors have been terrible. And I will say that. If someone asks me, do you think, like, you know, what's your experience? Do you think NHS is bad? I will say, from my personal experience, yes, the NHS, for me, have been very poor. And I'm glad some people aren't having this as bad of an experience I have had with the NHS, but that doesn't dismiss my experience. Oh, actually, it goes in 2 different ways. I don't even mind going private. None of the private ones near me, dentist-wise, are available either, weirdly enough. I could have gone to the private doctors with my issue, but the problem is I was just too stubborn. I waited so long to get seen by a doctor. I was determined that I would finally be seen by an NHS doctor. And I was, admittedly, even though it took forever. But this isn't going to work here, is it? Whoa. When I, I press C, and we can just see it in color. What it looks like in color. Pretty cool. So there's no lighting here at all. This has no lighting whatsoever. I think we're doing a pretty good job. Like, this could you could literally run this as an unlit scene in a video game, and I think it has some good, like, it would look pretty good. Weirdly enough, they don't come up as having texture, so what I'm gonna do, I don't even know if that was obvious what I was talking about, but what I'm gonna do, apparently these are the textures, so they must just be the blank. So we'll have one all the way at the back that would give a slight orange tinge to. Like there. There you go. So now when I press C and go into light, we'll fill that in. You see that fill up all these ones. So it's like just a backwash. I apologize to anyone who is very I've had a very good experience with the NHS and will, outright say the NHS is great for me. They're the best service ever. I apologize to you people, and I'm glad you've had such a good experience. It's just, unfortunately, I have not, and I can only say my experience at the end of the day. I do think a big reason why my motivation has been on such a decline the last year is because of the issues I've been experiencing. Because it's hard. I can't even sleep at night. Like, I've got side pains that they refuse to see for me at the moment. When I sleep on my side, I get a pain here, and there's a much more minor, but there's a pain here as well on my other side. And I don't know what's causing that either. And I'm starting to think, because I get a lot of tonsil stones due to my problem, due to my throat problem, I'm starting to think it may be... I know this is way too much information. I'm starting to think that it might be a cause. It might be like kidney stones. Because it's the same bacterial reaction that causes a tonsil stone. I've never been to the doctors, really. So this is like my only, like full stop, my only experience really with the NHS. Except from when I was a child and was, you know, offered a standard experience, but I didn't go very often. My experience with the NHS as an adult, this is basically my first ever experience. And it's just, you know, been extremely poor. And now I'm on another waiting list to get a tonsillectomy. To get my tonsils removed. Because he thinks my problem is very likely being caused by my tonsils. And possibly because of the tonsil stones. So he asked me, do you want your tonsils removed? Obviously, he pointed out it's not life-threatening. I'm not dying because of the fact I have my issues. But I was just like, yes. Yes, please. If it's going to help resolve the issue, get those bad boys out. Because at a bare minimum, I won't get tonsil stones anymore. I literally... Again, this is going to sound gross. Anyone who doesn't like hearing about stuff like this, switch to stream off. Or mute me for about 20 seconds. So every week, I press on my tonsils to try to squeeze out tonsil stones. I pressed on it. A tonsil stone, like this long, came out. I pulled it off, and it like was going across my finger. And never smell a tonsil stone. It's disgusting. Yeah, and it came out of a hole in my tonsil, and I was like, oh. And that's the thing. He said that in the camera he could see tonsil stones. I'd claimed them. I couldn't see them my end, so there must be a lot of tonsil, and there must be tonsil stones on the back side of them that I can't reach that he saw with the camera. So I'm separating this out into a separate mask, because what I want to do now is in this mask, I want to draw a line in this. That way, look, we've basically got it masked out so I can only draw on this layer, which is exactly what we want. I'm actually going to use my pen. Hopefully it's working. Nice. We are going to turn off. We're going to wear an actual glove. But yeah, I'd like to get all my issues fixed. If I can get my tonsils removed, get into a dentist and get that tooth resolved, and then find out what's causing these side pains, I will be back to a normal man. I've been suffering with random pains and issues for like the last 2 to 3 years. Did you see the game I linked to Discord? Yeah, I've seen that game a really long time ago. The one where you basically use dead bodies from your past self. Actually, I think it's supposed to be like Generations, right? You're supposed to be like... I think that's how the story... I think that's the story of it. You're supposed to be like the generation like after when they die. And then you use their corpse to progress. Also, I hope the mic sounds alright. Like I said, I've got my aircon on to cool down the room a little bit. My back is actually sweating. This chair is so warm. Oh my god. I mean, if that's what every velvet chair is going to be like, and I'm going to have to get a leather. Or back to a membrane one. Did you warn me? Said what's up? My first chair I thought was velvet, and that's the most comfortable chair I've ever sat on. It was the one I used throughout university, and it broke third year university, and it's still by far my favorite chair. So I thought getting another velvet one would be fine, but man, my back is so warm. I mean, maybe I'll just sit in my normal position where I slouch. But I need to lean forward here anyway, so. But my first chair was velvet. So maybe this is just really dense. Like, maybe it's not the actual velvet. Maybe it's the padding inside more than anything. I mean, like I said, I'm going to keep the chair for a little bit still. See if I get used to it. And if I don't know what I'm going to replace it with. Quite frankly. Don't want to affect that. Let's do it from the top. Actually, she about the right thickness. Nice. Nope. I want to fill layer. I want to fill layer. I want to black mask it. Pull that down. Turn the hardness up. Then we got some shapes to make. That is not as small as I thought it was going to be. Let's turn you off for a second so I can see what I'm doing. It's sort of like this. There. There. Big shape over here. My chair is, I assume, pleather. It's like, how do you say it? Vo leather? It's like V-A-U-X. I used to say Vox. It's like Vo leather. It's alright. I kind of wish someone would make a chair that's like beanbag. Yeah, right? I mean, you've got the microfiber, which maybe feels good. But that means getting another chair, hoping it feels good. And if it doesn't, then I'm screwed. Then I got to send another chair back. And I think at some point Amazon's going to get upset at me constantly sending things back. Much closer than that. It's more here. That was something I found interesting that someone said to me. They were like, I never send anything back. I was like, you never send anything back. So if it's something you don't want, like, yeah, I'll just keep it. I'm like, that is super weird to me. If you buy something you don't want, why wouldn't you send it back? That's kind of the thing with online shopping, is you can't really tell you like it until you've used it, and you can't use it until you get it. Which is why return policies from Amazon are so lenient, because they know that's how it is. Faux? F-O? Would you say that's faux? How to pronounce...
Faux.
Faux, okay. That looks good. I just wish I could scale it up, and you can't. I mean, I don't think you can. Substance, scale up, mask. No, it doesn't mean... Yeah, it's not meaning the way I think it is. Scale up, drawing, mask. I mean, what I should have done was draw it in Photoshop and then bring it in as a mask. It's a shame, because that's, like, almost perfect. I guess what I could do is take a very crappy image of that. I've got my cursor in there. Lovely. How did my cursor stay all the way over there when I went to the other monitor? So try to keep everything that's not thingy into Photoshop. Someone else arrived. Hello, other person. People left after hearing me talk about my issues. You know, just like real life. Cool. So we take that. We select you. Into a new layer. We get a normal brush. Fill you in. Which way do I fill it in? White. Make the background black. I knew they were going to look like that, the way it selects it. We... Oh, you know what? We won't blur it. We'll just, like, manually draw over the top. I don't think the blur is going to work the way I want it to, because I still want it to be a sharp thingy, so instead I'm just going to draw over the top, I think. We'll just clean up the edges manually. I was going to do the blur, but... Oh yeah, so Liza P was probably one of the best games I've played this year. FYI. It was really good. Funnily enough, because I completed it all in one sitting. It's definitely not a game you're supposed to complete in one sitting, but I was being stubborn. And I really wanted to complete it in one sitting. I did. And yeah, it was really good. It's a story about Pinocchio. I don't think that's a spoiler. I enjoyed it so much. Has that got smoothing on? It does. I enjoyed it so much. Better than Elden. I didn't play that this year, right? When was Elden Ring released? That was Game of the Year last year. Okay. I was just making sure that I wasn't saying it was better than Elden Ring. No, Elden Ring was better. Elden Ring was its own beast because Elden Ring turned the entire genre into an open world like RPG game, and that in itself just elevated the whole genre drastically. I mean, I have my doubts, you know. Same with like Metal Gear Solid when that was released, when that was open world. I had my doubts, and I said maybe open world isn't going to be the way forward. But I think I originally was very not skeptical at all. I'm pretty sure I was like, but I think this is the right direction, because how do you elevate what they already had? And I think the only way to have achieved that elevation without just making the same game every year, because like no matter what someone says, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 is basically the same game. It's just being improved every year. So like an Assassin's Creed game. Someone's going to slap me for saying that, because like, you compare Dark Souls to Assassin's Creed. Like Assassin's Creed, at least the first like couple, was basically taking the same thing and making it better on each release. I know it kind of didn't become that later on, and they were just trying to throw them out one after the other. But I guess the way that they elevated that was they turned them into RPG games. When Odyssey came out, you had a leveling system. We take this, clean up some of the edges because they're still bad over here. I mean, they're going onto a very low res part of the texture, so probably isn't going to matter too much. We take this. I kind of want to clean up certain bits that are going to probably overlap with the low resolution anyway, so I should clean them up. Like here, increase this gap a little bit. Move you over. You know what, though? So I've been seeing people compare Life is P to it being as good as Sekiro, if not better. And you know what? There is definitely bits about it that is better. My biggest problem with Lies of P, though, and there's already people who are mastering it. That's not the problem, though. Is in Lies of P, you'll get an enemy that attack you. So in Sekiro, the enemies tend to have... They might be delayed, but an enemy in Sekiro will like wind up his sword, come in. Now, sometimes you'll get some enemies in Sekiro be like, and then they lean back further. So you go to parry them, and you're assuming they're going to do this, but instead they do this. So they take like a delay, then they go fast. So you've got to remember that these enemies do that. But overall, you tend to see an enemy go to hit, thrust. There are certain abilities in Sekiro that you could tell that have like a... I think the tip of the weapon sparkles when it's about to hit, and that's when you got to press parry. Only in certain moves. And it all flows really, really well. Something that Lies of P does. Lies of P is definitely a game where parrying is... It's not really parrying in a game. When I say parrying, I tend in a game, parrying in other games, usually when you press the button at the perfect time, they stagger or something, or they go into an animation. In Lies of P and Sekiro, when you parry, you hit, and it's basically like blocking, except you don't lose any stance, and you don't lose any HP, and you don't lose anything. You just goes ting, ting, ting when you press the block at the perfect time. So it's perfect blocks, perfect guard. I think it's even called perfect guard in Lies of P. And the problem in Lies of P is they made their enemies attack in the weirdest ways. Like, you'll get an enemy who'll stand up and he'll be like, he's like a puppet kind of thing. And sometimes, you know, they do their basic thingies, but sometimes the enemies will just go, like, just go towards you and go, and that's an attack, swinging their arm a little bit forward, and it hits you. Like, excuse me? And it's like, some of their moves are really delayed. They're like, like that. And it's just like, they're just so, like, not clear that I think the game could definitely, and the parry frame is so small. I read online someone said it's 1 frame. It is not 1 frame. If it was 1 frame, no one would be able to master it. That is way too small. It's definitely a couple of frames, but I think in Sekiro, if let's say it was 12 frames in Sekiro, I don't know if it is. If it was like 5 frames in Lies of P. So they try to encourage you to parry everything, but they have a very, very short parry window or perfect block window. And some of the enemies just attack so weird. It turns the game less into a how good can you react to things. Yeah, my back is warm. Less into a how good can you react to things, and more into how much can you memorize every single enemy in the game. And I think that's when you lose me. If, like, when you fight bosses in these type of games, a big part of it is memorizing what the bosses are going to do. But if you're good enough at the game, you can kind of see what moves they might do, even when you don't know what move they're going to do. Like, if you see an enemy at a distance and they look like they're charging up attack, you know you're probably looking for them to leap at you, which is going to give you more than enough time to know how you've got to run, if you've got to dodge, if you've got to parry, if you've got to block, right? At least in Dark Souls games. In Lies of P, it's just so unpredictable that you have to memorize. The last boss took me 4 hours to kill, because I had to memorize every single attack he did so I wouldn't die, because I had to parry everything or perfect block him. And for me, at that point, is just too much. That's just when you lose me. That's expecting far too much, in my opinion, from the player that I don't want to be responsible for. Now, you know what we're going to do here, actually? We're going to take this. We're going to scale it down. What's 4, like that. We're going to make it small, because this is what it's going to turn out like anyway. We're going to file, save. We're going to file, export. Just to the desktop, it'd be easier. Oh, we're already on the desktop. Is it exporting? I don't know what's wrong with my PC lately, but I have to refresh my desktop to see things appear. My Discord is running slow. My Google Chrome is running slow. It's just like what you see when you close your eyes and then rub them really hard. Yeah, you're right. It does. Texture or alpha for this project. Now if I come into here, what was it called? Oh, untitled. Brilliant. Yeah, that should like place it on top. So if I got rid of that, I could place it. But I can now change it to whatever size I want. Wow, it's gonna be like a 10. Probably like a 10.5. It takes up quite a lot of the frame. There you go. All of that work, just get it moved over. No, nothing's eating up my resources. I've already checked. Like 30% on CPU, 70% on memory. Admittedly, that seems high. The memory's never made any sense to me, because I've got 32 gigabytes. I've looked this up online, and this has said a lot, and I've never been able to find a solution, I don't think. Like, Task Manager, RAM, percentage higher than total RAM or lower. RAM used lower than total RAM. Why is total memory usage reported by Task Manager much higher than the sum of all process? No, not that. But if you look, I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM total. We've got 2.5, 2.55, 6, 7, so 7. Let's round it up with these, about 8. And even if we added these up, let's say 10 gigabytes total. But then it says 90% used. I have 32 gigabytes of RAM. And like I said, I've looked this up online before. Like... But I've seen it before somewhere, and they were like, no, that's normal. And I was like, what? Task Manager not showing total RAM? Like here, 16. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Is one of my RAM sticks broken? One of my RAMs are broken. Oh, that might be it. That might be why my computer's been running slow. Look, it says 16. My computer wouldn't turn on a couple of weeks ago. So I took the side off, took the RAM out, put the RAM back in because it's usually the RAM, and it started working. But I didn't even think to check that one of the RAM sticks. Wow, why does RAM always break? Oh. Mouse, you good? Okay. It still doesn't add up in the Task Manager, though, because it's saying 90% when I've got 16 gigabytes. So it's still a little bit off, but it's not as much off as I thought it was. And I have got a lot of applications open right now, so 16 gigabytes sounds about right. Man, that makes so much more sense. I guess we're taking the computer apart. Yeah, and reseating it. Can you hotfix RAM? Can I reseat it while it's on? Probably not a good idea. Definitely takes up more than that. We'll go like 3.2. Have you ever hotfixed like your hard drives and stuff and plugged them in while the PC's running? I think Linus did a video on it and they were like, it's fine. I think they hotfix all the time. I mean, I've still never broken a single thing while hotfixing, so... In fact, if my RAM's broken, I literally did it when it was all turned off by the wall, no electricity coming through it at all, so... If anything, I've had better success while hotfixing. But I'm not sure you can. I don't think you can do it with RAM. I'm pretty sure you can't do it with RAM. Although I kind of want to look it up now. Because, like, Chrome is very RAM hungry. So it makes a lot of sense to why my Chrome is running slow. Maybe Discord's the same way, because Discord's running slow. Can RAM be hotfixed? Because it seats into it, I assume not. I mean, I'd never hotfix it anyway. I was just curious. Oh, wow. I'm not actually seeing... Is it not called hotfixing? It'd be very bad to do. Yeah, I would do it anyway. I was just not curious. Hot swap? Hot swap components. Hot swapping components include network adapter, universal bus. Universal bus. No, that's not coming up anyway. Swapping, replacing additional components of the computer system without stopping. Okay, yeah. Hot swapping, yeah. This definition says it. So hot fixing. Yeah. Is a single that includes. Oh, okay, yeah. Because the hotfix means when you release an update very quickly after release, right? You hotfix. It's a hotfix update. I said swapping because it came up here. Look, not swapping. Yeah, I jumped the gun, my bad. People do that to me all the time. People, my friends will do that and laugh at me for saying something. I was like, I read that. Look. I'd be like, oh, you're right. You know what? You know what one that they did to me not too long ago? I want to find it. This one was actually different. This was how I pronounce something.
Walls.
Walls. Walls. Right, American pronunciation. Now let's go British.
Walls.
Walls. I say walls like there's a W in it. And you know why? Because there is in the British pronunciation. Walls. Now, I tend to not put that much emphasis on it. I say walls. Instead of wows. Like
walls.
Oh, walls. There you go. I tend to say walls, but I was just exaggerating it earlier. And my friends, not too long ago, like, oh, walls. Because they were going walls, like exaggerating it. I was like, but that's how you pronounce it. No, it's... They said it the American way. How do you say it the American way?
Walls.
Walls. They said it's walls. And I was just like, no, it's walls. It's walls. W-A... You know, like the wall? W-A-L-L... This is just the pronunciation spelling. Like the phonetic spelling of it. So W-A-L-L-S. Walls. Or, as the Americans say...
Walls.
Walls. But I say walls. And it was really funny. Because it was in chat. It'd be funny if one of them's here in chat now. They're like, oh, he's bringing this up. And they were just like, oh, he's saying it wrong. I was like, that's how you're supposed to say it. Like, and I'm so glad, because I didn't know. Like, I hadn't looked it up. But I was convinced. I'm confused. How to pronounce the word walls. Like, W-A-L-L-S. When you look for pronunciations on Google... Or you're confused because they thought it was funny that I was saying it wrong. Or have you literally never seen the word wall before? W-A-L-L. Because that would be an interesting thing. No. You clearly didn't look at the... Did I not show it on screen? Did I not... I was looking at it. Look. Walls pronounced. There's a W in the pronunciation here. There's clearly a W at the start, but in the British pronunciation, you say it like there's a W in the middle of the word. Walls. Instead of walls. Because in the American pronunciation, there's no W in the middle of the word. But in the British pronunciation, there is, which is why it sounds like...
Walls.
So did you say it the American way or the British way? So do you say it...
Walls.
Or do you say it...
Walls.
No. Whatever, you realise words phonetically are like this are pronounced very differently to how they're spelled, right? You can look up a lot of words. And let's think of an example. Look at how you phonetically spell perfect.
Prefect.
Prefect? Wait, did they actually say prefix like that?
Prefect.
Oh, sorry, I wrote prefect, not perfect. Perfect. Oh, really? You're not going to show? Well, prefect is a good example anyway. Prefect. Look at how differently they're spelled. That's what pronunciation is. There tends to be... Because figure how Americans pronounce... But think about... Yeah, okay, let's look at, like, pasta then, right? Pasta pronounce.
Pasta.
And?
Pasta.
Pasta. Almost like there's an R in it. Pasta. Because P-A-R is pa.
Pasta.
Pasta. So, even though the words are completely different, in the American spelling, it's almost like it's P-A-R. Sta. Just because that's how words work. It's the same with, like, walls. Walls, in the British pronunciation, acts more like there's a W after the, A. But in the American spelling, it's more like there's two A's. So, walls versus walls. You can't always sound the letter because that's not how pronunciation works quite often, especially between American... I'm sorry. Especially between the difference between American and British pronunciations. There's so many words. Look at aluminum and aluminium, for example. Like, the Americans don't even spell it like it's said. Because they spell it our way, but they still say aluminum. It's like they leave letters out. You finished your chair. Yeah. They're not. It was at some point, but they're not. To be fair, that's partly the reason those words. American spelling of aluminum. Where is it? They changed the spelling back, but they kept the pronunciation. Apparently, you still use both, actually, but you can still spell it the other way and still pronounce it aluminum. By Gabriel International, the website. But either way, just showing you like pasta and pasta, you pronounce it differently depending on the country you're in, even though they're spelled exactly the same, because that's just how words work. Different. Look at it's like I'm learning Japanese at the moment. The way that they have some of the letters, like if you have, it was really confusing because if you have, I think it was O-I makes a O sound, but like A-I doesn't make an A or A sound, it makes a E or E. Because you can't always pronounce everything phonetically just because there's different rules to pronouncing things in different countries. And we're no different. There's a bunch of our words that you'd think would be pronounced a certain way. I mean, it's made fun of by our, like, cities. British cities that aren't pronounced the way they are spelt. I can't even say these. I want to find some I can see. List of irregular spelt places in the United Kingdom. There's a whole wiki page on it. Oh my god, it's so long. Wait, how do you say that? Scoon. Wait, this is just words. Hold on a minute. This isn't places. Right. Moderate. I'm going to end this whole conversation by saying pasta and pasta. The exact same spelling word, pronounced differently. That's all you need to know about you can't always pronounce a word exactly the way it's spelled. Because it doesn't always sound the same. when transferred not only over to different languages, but even in our own language, because we've adopted, I mean, English comes from Latin and then a bunch of other languages mushed into one. So there's so many different rules that so many of our words we pronounce differently anyway. I feel like I'm teaching English at this point. That's how English works. But woes is how the British say it. It's the woes definition. It's the it's literally what it says on I mean, it might be more of a southern thing, maybe. But it's, I mean, like I showed you, it's how it shows you on Google. Again, I don't pronounce it as drastically as wows, because that almost like saying Wales. But you know what? I've heard people say Wales like that, wows. But I still say it walls and not... How do you say it the American way? You've never heard anyone say walls. Like walls, like the way I'm saying it. Like this, like these are walls. Really? Oh my god, you need to come down to the south. I could literally take anyone from the street right now, get him to come in and tell him, what are these called? And it'd say walls. Because the only people who've ever jokingly said, wow, you say walls really weird, were my northern friends. That's about right. This is the best artwork ever. Does that only do that on a different monitor? If I like zoom in and then put it on another monitor, it zooms in somewhere else. If I do this and then this, right, it goes into the same spot. So if I go into another 1080p, I mean, you're literally telling me a part of my culture is incorrect, so you're shooting me down pretty hard. It's a part of where I come from, and you're telling me I'm wrong, even though Google's telling me I'm right. That's why I'm being very defensive on it. Even though I was literally saying both ways are correct. I mean, British culture is pretty trash. That's why I would like to move away at some point. You know the worst part about British culture? Football. I don't care what anyone says. I worked at a betting shop. You know how violent people get when their team wins? Not even when they lose. What's that about? I remember my friend finding it hilarious that there was like a girl crying because her team, like, there was a girl crying at like a football match because her team lost or something. You've probably seen this. And people just made fun of her relentlessly. And it was like, but it's funny. I was like, that's not funny. You're like laughing at a little girl crying. And then laughing at all the really... Because the jokes were really... Make an exclamation mark. The jokes were like really, really, really mean. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Really... I'm trying to think of the word. Not morbid. That's the incorrect word. They weren't morbid. They were... Not vulgar. Like, I want... Here you go. Young German fan attacked online. And I assume this is the young fan was in tears. It's just like inappropriate. No, because inappropriate makes it sound like it's really like rude. So I didn't want to use that word. I wonder if I can see some examples. But it was just the fact that even my friend, who's not even that into football, just thought it was absolutely hilarious. I was like, why do you think this is so funny? Like, I'm quite a dark humor person. Uncalled for? Yeah, that's probably closer to it. Like, I'm a pretty dark humor person. I'll be honest, I am. I make dark jokes all the time, and I find them funny. But they're always in jest. This was one of the scenarios where it was just like, I want to find some examples, because some of them were just... Good morning to every England fan mocking a crying little German girl last night. This one's for you. It's just the fact that people have to post that. They raised money for her. It was really weird. That I find odd. They raised money for the fact that she cried. Because equally, she was that invested in a football match that it made her cry. And I'm not enough into anything it would make me cry like that. So I don't think there was just or raising her money, unless it somehow caused a lot of issues. Maybe, I don't know. Can my Chrome load? I want to find some of these comments. Oh, is it just the website? It might be the website. English fan cheered when crying. Yeah, and they cheered. Yeah. I think they showed her on like the camera and everyone cheered. Like all the English people. And it's just like, what is wrong with these people? Yeah, like comments like that, like calling her an SLUT randomly, like just random insults thrown at her. Apparently, people are saying that it's fine to laugh at them because apparently that's just what you do at football games when you see the other part get upset. You just kind of laugh or cheer. So apparently that's fine, but it was the insults. And my mate just thought it was hilarious. He thought it was great that people online were just berating? We're just like making complete fun of this girl, calling her random names, just straight out bullying her.
I, for one, think that's... Oh, wait. I don't remember the rap artist, but he was doing a live gig and he brought a fan up on stage to sing with him, and she said the M-word as the song does, and he stopped the show and told her off, and the whole crowd did. I, for one, think that's terrible and criminal. Like, screw the rapper. That's pretty mean. I mean, they should have at least made it clear that they wouldn't be very comfortable with her saying that on stage. I mean, I'm an advocate of not saying the N-word, but I don't swear anyway. Because at the end of the day, for me, I think not being able to have a restraint in not saying the N-word or saying the M-word and claiming, like, it's just a word and everything is kind of a disrespect towards where it comes from. So I am one of those people who do think we should avoid saying the M-word anyway. But if you've literally called someone out on stage to come sing a song with you that has the N-word in it, then yeah, that's incredibly mean to then tell them off afterwards. That's pretty brutal. He totally destroyed her, just a little teen girl. And she was like a young girl as well. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Like, screaming it out from the crowd at him? Sure. Calling her out on stage and telling her to sing a song that includes the N-word in it? No, that's super mean. Yeah. Right, you'd feel like you could never live that down. Like... Oh, sort of saving. How's it going, Sora, by the way, if you're still here? Definitely lower on the picture, but I want it to be like a straight line. That's better. Would you recommend buying a pen for modeling, etc. if it's just a game dev purposes? Don't really want Blender to be... Would you recommend a pen for modeling, etc. if it's just for game dev purposes? Don't really want Blender to be my main focus, but I do need to model a few things. I use XP Pen. I think XP Pen work perfectly fine if you're on a budget. You've got 3 sort of leading brands. I assume you mean like a drawing tablet, not just the pen, because you obviously need the actual tablet. But if you're looking for like something affordable, and I personally think pretty good, a XP Pen tablet. Oh, I can't. Gotta give a shout out for he helped me yesterday night for over an hour to get something nice. He's part of it. Yeah. I've helped him a bunch of stuff like in the Disney. He asked quite a lot of questions actually. He has so many questions. Yeah, look, you can like just grab a cheapy one. Very high rated. Well, 4.3 stars, pretty good rated. For only 25 quid. I recommend it. If you want one that's an actual screen, you also can get screen ones, like obviously here. The 299, you get one of those ones, or you can go for a bit more. Obviously, if you want a Wacom tablet, a Cintiq, that's going to be your best bet. I've not used one personally, but I hear that they are just flat out the best. Well, that's actually an affordable Wacom. That's an affordable Wacom. Wacom's usually like incredible, as you can see there, incredibly expensive. But that one's actually, damn, that's pretty good. I can't really vouch for this one though. It might be cheap because it's bad. I don't know. But there's one other brand, affordable graphics tablet. But an inch, yeah, it's not like my big one here. Mine's like a 20 inch, something like that.
But you can, a 13-inch should be perfectly fine. In fact, I kind of wish I had a smaller one that I could have in my lap with a screen on it, because the problem with a big one is I have to do really big swipes. I could obviously zoom in, but then your precision is a little bit bad because you're in like a smaller spot with a smaller resolution. Whereas if it's condensed down to maybe like a 13-inch, that 13-inch might be my preference. I've not used one, so I can't say. But having like a 13-inch just like right in front of me here, I don't know if you can see at the camera. Can't really see it, but like just right here in front of my keyboard and like kind of half on my lap, I think would be really good. But it does come down to personal preference. I always say that if you need to, you can always refund it and send it back. There is one other brand. It begins with H. That I know. Oh, there you go. The Huion. Huion? Is that how you say it? Huey. Here you go. Tablet. So I know that this is also an affordable one. Huion? Huion, maybe. Huion makes it sound more like it's supposed to be pronounced like, I guess, a Japanese word. Huion. But I don't know, maybe not. Because it could always be like, Hyun. I wonder... Pronounce. Hyun. So Hyun. 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 I had to say it really fast with getting the E in there. Look at, see what I mean though? My Chrome is just like running super slow. Wait. It's very difficult to pronounce. Oh, here you go.
Hoyen.
It's pronounced what?
Hoyen.
Hoyen.
Huion.
Hoyen.
Hoyen.
Huion. Huion.
Huion. Huion. I guess it's kind of like you said then, right?
Hoyen.
Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, those tablets are apparently pretty good and affordable too. So you've got a big choice. Is it possible to model a character if you don't have a design sheet? Yes. If you've got one angle, you're fine. If you've got like if you've got it all in your head, I'd never recommend that. If you've got one picture, you can do it. I would recommend it a full sheet because it'd be significantly easier. Yeah, I was looking at the pink one right there. Ah. Yeah, you got a lot of options. Oh, that's a pretty good one. A 13-inch graphics tablet. What's it? It's a limited time deal. Pretty good stars. It's got its own little stand. That one's pretty neat. I like that. How much pen pressure? Jesus. Like how many different levels? Oh yeah, tilt. Oh, mine doesn't have tilt function, so this would be better than mine. This looks phenomenal for the price, honestly. What's the difference between... Battery-free... Wait, what? Wait, what's the difference? Violet purple. With pen tech. Oh, right. So the pen is battery free. Oh, so you charge up the pen. So is this one not battery free? Either way, you've got plenty of good choices. At the end of the day, it's going to be one of those things that if you're starting off, you're not going to see a huge difference in performance by getting a more expensive one. Only when you get sort of better at it, you're going to start seeing those differences. Some people may disagree with that, but I think that's pretty true. For example, if you suck at drawing and you buy a £10,000 drawing tablet, You're not going to get any better at drawing just because you bought better stuff, right? If you're still quite beginner level and stuff like it, and you're not like too into it, you're going to be pretty similar performance on a cheap one versus expensive one. I still use my Wacom Bamboo. My Wacom Bamboo broke. You still get a Wacom Bamboo. I liked my Wacom Bamboo. I don't think you can get them anymore, can ya? Because they sort of moved over to the Intuos. Oh? I mean, it's a weird price and a weird rating. You ever play any of the games? The Wacom games? That is not the... It's amazing how I can color pick and it's like not remotely that color. Like that. Okay. That's not what I'm meant to do. That does not look like that at all. Yeah, that is literally what I just color picked. I mean, that's closer now that I just done that, but it's still way more blue. And a bit brighter. That's way closer. In fact, a little bit more brighter. Oh, a little bit less brighter. Maybe a little bit less desaturated. That's probably about right. Yeah, they have games purely for stylist input. Oh! I know that people played Osu a lot with it. Because pixel by pixel, it's loads of color and all together. You'd need the just colors. I know that people play it getting over it with a stylus. That's very interesting. Wow, that's much darker than I thought it was. Jesus. Much more over here. Actually, let's color pick it again. Do I want to do it in the light? I guess I want to do it in the light. This color is coming up when I color pick it. So what does that look like? Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So these are actually just circles. So I can just... From there. There. I mean, that's definitely going to be a tiny bit bigger. Not that big, like a 7. Yeah, we'll do both. We'll do like a 4 for you. We'll do like a 3 for you. So almost connected like that, yeah. And then we got like a 2 up. Yeah, was that really to getting over it? Yeah. I don't even know, like, let's, I was gonna write getting over it. We'll go Steam first. I can't believe I've just figured out that I've got half the RAM I was using. I have no idea how it works with. I don't know if I got to turn on a setting. I don't even know if I still got the Still got the wizardry. I was getting pretty good at this game. I full screen it here. Okay. New game. They do it on a much smaller tablet, admittedly, so it's going to be very interesting. Is this showing up actually on stream? It is cool. Whoa. Oh yeah, so this is definitely not enabled. How do I enable use trackpad? Do you think it'd be that? Do I need a mod for it? Maybe I've got to turn off the saying. Again. Aha! Wait, it's not coming all the way down. Oh, that is not aligned at all. I can't even push him. Like, this is me at the bottom of my tablet. Oh, you're probably right. I know people do play it with this. Oh. This is impossible. It's like not tracking. Like, I've got to move. What? I got to move so far. I can't push. I can't go low. Oh, well. You don't work. Oh. I got a lot more FPS. I can feel it, even though it's only a 60 hertz monitor. I can tell. I say that I feel like I was just losing frames there. Got a pen in my hand. This is making it much more awkward. I like fling myself like that. Nope. Come on, surely I can. Here you go. I don't know why it's jittering now. Also, don't play a game with a glove on. It feels really weird. I feel like I'm like losing a tiny bit of control. Why is it so jittery? And like I'm losing a tiny bit of control. Is VSync on? Probably just jittering because one, I've got less RAM than I'm supposed to have right now. Does it look smooth on stream? Oh, it does. It's so jittery for me. There's also screen tear. That's probably because I should have VSync on because it's probably. Oh. See, this part's always really weird because like, a lot of the streams show to push off that, but I never get height. Or I very rarely get height, should I say. Sometimes it works. Like, they tell you to do this, and then push, and then grab there. But I never get enough height. Or very rarely. I want to clarify, because sometimes I do get it. I instead get up here, push off, and then do this. What are you guys going to do when I disappear for a month? I mean, not be streaming that much. But yeah. I just wanted a reason to mention Japan. I'm very excited to go to Japan. And I'm going with a friend, so I'm not going to be too lost. People get an insane jump from here, like from where I just was.
I usually just get up here and then do this because I don't want to lose. I'm gonna do this the safe way. Well, not speed running. I already did the start really slow because I was using my tablet. Oh, that's gonna be bad. Yep. Interesting. I've not done this very often. Ah, that'd been great if I somehow got that. I'm going to start a YouTube channel called Mods Tutorials, where I make Unreal content and start a Discord where I can help people with shaders and I made from the marketplace. Nice. Do it. I believe in you. How did I do that again? What the heck? I think you're randomly going to play Getting Over It on stream. I need to take this glove off. You know why it feels weird? It's because it's like making my hand slip on the mouse. The lack of grip is making the game feel really weird. Uh-oh. Whoa, I slid on that so much. Uh-oh, it's not going to work. I get back. Nice. I stopped playing this game because I beat the time I wanted to beat. I think I got under 4 minutes, right? I got sub 4. That's all I wanted to do. Did I do it on the stream? I'm never like a super high tier player. Like I'm pretty good at games. If you ask any of my friends, they'll say I'm relatively good at games. But like, I never ever want to get to the point where I'm, I guess, diamond. I know you're playing that annoying game. I'm almost completed it. I've completed it 80 times. I have had a huge break from it. It's been months, I think. It keeps lagging for me, though. And it's... the reason I fell off there is literally because the whole thing froze for a sec. I don't know if it did for you guys. This has to be one of the most RNG feeling areas of the game, though. Like, look. Out of nowhere. So there are grapple points, right? But you'll place the sledgehammer exactly where you know the point is. Like, I know where a bunch of these points are. And it just doesn't stick in the point. There you go. Oh. There you go. Pop up there. Boom. Boom. Oh! What did that happen? Oh, hello. Can I get down, please? Thank you. Stop getting stuck in the antenna. Thank you. Seven and a half minutes, despite messing around at the start. It's pretty good. Got to go to sleep. Bye. Have a good stream. Have a good one, man. Thank you for being chatty. What did you do on stream today, Steve? Oh, I just completed Getting Over It halfway through doing art. Ah, nice. For those of you who've not seen it, you go, oh. How do you say your name? Ultim's... What? Ultem? Alt 3? M spot? MS spot? That's what we've got so far. You know what? They look very... I think that's about right. Ulti? Ultem? Or Atslem? Wait, am I blind? Oh, I am blind. Or am I saying, oh, the T is first? So it's Atslem. Atslem's bot? I'm not a fan of watching tutorials that show you how to do one particular thing. I know the donut... I've never looked at the donut tutorial. Correct. So I can't really say. I know some people say it is useful, but I have a big distaste when someone follows a tutorial from completion and posts an image of it without saying they watched the tutorial, even though if any actual artist looks at it, they're gonna know you've watched the tutorial. But they don't post that they watch the tutorial because they want to make it look like they made it. The amount of times I'll be like, I know that exact image. I saw this tutorial make that exact render. Oh, it's your Twitch bot account on your phone. Right. What am I missing? Oh, right, the leaf at the bottom. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of following tutorials like that. I think the better tutorials are mine. No, I think the better tutorials are the ones that are a bit more... that's better color, yeah. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they don't hold your hand, not hold your hand, they don't get you to make one particular thing. But it's, if it's for learning Blender like hotkeys, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like I said, I've not watched it, so if he does show about hotkeys and stuff, yeah, I'd say go for it. Again, I have no idea. I've not watched it. Oh my god, please. There you go. That's better. Turn this down. I read something, so I don't know what you guys' opinion is on talent. Whenever I hear someone say talent doesn't exist, they tend to shoot themselves in the foot with a comment leading up to it. Now, I'm a very big believer that talent exists. There's a lot of things in life that I've been naturally good at, and there's a lot of things in life where I have been very naturally bad at, which is what talent is. Your natural aptitude for things. So I very much believe in talent. But I also hear that Grant Abbott does pretty good Blender tutorials. I think I remember who that is. If so, yeah, he does. I think a lot of people do good Blender tutorials. Yeah, and I remember this one video saying, talent doesn't exist, there are just fast learners. And I was like, that's what a talent is. There are just fast and slow learners. And I was like, you basically in 2 sentences, wait, talent doesn't exist, comma, I guess you could say, there are just fast and slow learners. So in 1 sentence, they disproved their entire first part of the sentence. Because talent means the ability to learn things or do things faster. Like, I think some people have the misconception that when people say someone has talent, they mean freaking they came out, they were born into this world with the ability to play the piano. No, that's not what people mean, usually anyway, when they say someone has talent. What have I got left to do? I'm pretty much done, aren't I? Talent is interesting. Talent is interest. You become faster on it if you're interested. Yes and no. Interest does help, especially for me. I like 100% for me. If I'm interested in something, I will learn it significantly faster. Admittedly, actually, no, it's not that. It's that I will learn something much slower if I'm not as interested in it, right? So I won't necessarily be faster because I'm interested. It's more that I'll be slower if I'm not. But I have seen people, I have friends who have picked up software or picked up a new hobby and never have done it before. And they, in a week, are better than people I've seen doing it for months, if not years. I've also seen people like my dad, played a guitar for like a decade, and he still can't get the hang of it, despite him being interested in liking the guitar. Talent exists, and it's always baffling to me that people don't believe so. And I think a big part is because people don't people think you're saying that they've not put in a work. So I get why it can be annoying to some people, because looking at someone and saying, no, you're only good at that thing because you're talented at it, can be very like heartbreaking when that's not the case. Everyone who is good at something, unless you're literally like a insane 1 in a billion prodigy, will have put in a lot of hard work to be good at it, right? But like, at the end of the day, if you've never in your life experienced you doing something and you were instantly better than your friend at it, or the reverse, then that's crazy to me. If you've been in a life that you've not had that. Because I've seen that through basically the entirety of my life.
I don't like the way my skin.
Sorry, that's the video I'm looking at.
I don't.
There was this like weird video. I'll show you guys it.
Do you? I don't like the way my skin feels on my body. Do you like the way your skin feels on your body? You don't? Why don't you pull it off? Pull off your skin.
It looks so angry at the end. The thing is like 3D modeling and being an artist is something I was never naturally talented at. And a big part of that is the fact that I can't imagine things. I've got a terrible imagination in a way that I can't piece things together in my mind and then make it into something I want to make. I have to have reference. It's why I can't draw. If I want to draw, I could get probably good at drawing. If I really looked at all the practices and stuff like that. I'm not naturally good at drawing at all, but I could get good at it if I looked at all the general practices and how you get good at drawing. But I could never just draw something. I could draw a mug 1,000 times, and probably if you told me, okay, now draw it without the mug, I'd probably struggle really hard, because I just can't. My brain is filled with blurry images and just it's not a lot of detail. And there's a lot of people who don't seem to comprehend that that's a thing, that some people can't imagine in as much detail as other people. And that's a huge part of a sort of talent behind being a good 3D artist. If you can imagine all the details you need, and you can imagine perspective, and you can imagine materials and how things need to look, and then you can draw that, whether it's on a monitor or in your sketchbook or whatever, that's a talent. Because yes, you can practice to get you a better imagination, but not everyone has that. Not everyone can train their brain to be like that. For example, someone like me, because those images don't appear in my mind. They just don't. Modeling is significantly easier. That's a very good point, Sora. I'm the same way of that as well. Brain-to-hand coordination. Because even when I picture the simple shapes in my mind, I sometimes find it really hard to get that drawn, even when it's a simple shape. Which is why modeling fills in that gap for me, right? Because when I'm making something, like, again, I very, very rarely model something without having reference. I almost always have reference, but like I can in my mind, well, I've got a monitor in front of me admittedly, but I can in my mind sort of like, oh yeah, a monitor or whatever, but as I'm making it, I have something visually here now, and I can start working from that. And I mean, I guess you could say the same with drawings. When you start drawing a part of something, you can then draw the rest of it off what you've drawn originally. But it just feels way easier in 3D modeling. I mean, at the end of the day, we can't prove or disprove Well, actually, no. There's tons of evidence that talent exists. So I can't really say we can or can't disprove. We've basically proven talent exists in so many different scenarios. The biggest one is usually natural talent, physical talent, because physically we are all born differently. But your talents that aren't physical, like art and stuff, comes down to your brain, and your brain is still a physical part of yourself. So that still should come under the same sort of thing. Because a good example is some people are simply born stronger, more muscle mass, taller, so they're better at sports. They have the natural talent to be good at those things. If their family are known for having really good hand-eye coordination, that could be hereditary, and you can have really good hand-eye coordination. Without having to train, you can instantly be good at some of the fundamentals. As I've said in the past, talent isn't... You're not going to get anywhere with just talent unless you're, again, 1 in a billion of a person. There are very, 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 very rare scenarios of someone with basically just talent carried them the whole way. 99% of the time, if not more, because I just said 1 in a billion, it comes down to talent being a catalyst, rather talent being the thing you're actually building off of. So if you're learning something, you get better at it faster the more talent you have. So if you're not putting in the hard work, that talent goes to waste. So you still need that. You still need the hard work, because that hard work makes that talent progress quicker, right? Again, that's my perspective of it. That is obviously not proven at all. Oh, that's what that was. That's just my perspective of how talent works. And I feel like, for me, that holds true. I tend to learn things faster when I have a talent for them. But, as Atlam said, that could just be the result of being interested in it. How do you make it bend? Lots of different ways. You can use a bend modifier. You know what? This is one of those ones that I always have to look up, because I can never remember how to use the actual bend modifier. Wait. No, there's definitely a bend modifier. Is there not? I swear. Oh, simple deform. I swear there's a bend. Yeah, I always forget how you use it though. I mean, if we spawn an empty and do it from the empty point. Nope, that didn't do anything. Why? Nope. Dead. Aha, that's doing something. And then you can tell it to be as bent as you want. So now you've got a perfect 90-degree bend. And then you can obviously apply that and make the rest of your model. I believe you can now use this. Yeah, so I can now use this and it will bend it. Because I'm doing it around an empty. If I were to put it like in the middle, we're going to be bending there. And does it have any restrictions? Yes, by the looks of it. I have no idea what they're doing, no. Oh, 0.5. Right. Okay, so if you do 0.5, it will restrict it to something. But you don't have to use that. You could always, so there's a bunch of different ways as well. You could do a curve. So if you're doing like just a cylinder or bending a pipe. So if you have started off without a pipe bent, you can use this set handle type to automatic, and then I can't actually see the points. Like, oh, somehow didn't make a. There you go. Third one, and then you basically want to actually. Why don't I just? Yeah, why don't I just pull you down? Wait, how do you do it with a curve again? You can do it with a curve, and then you can tell it's thingy, or you can use. If you're using a pipe. To be fair, if you've already got a pipe, I'd do it the way I just showed you with the deformer. So if we had like a pipe. I was going to show you another way, but if you already have a pipe. So, I'll do it 1 second. I'll look at that in just a sec. You could probably achieve this better with the deformer. Mesh deform? No, that's not the one we wanted. Simple deform. Bend. You can actually, you should be able to move this around the point. So if you wanted it to be starting here, because it should do it around this point, and then you do like 90 degrees. It does bend that part annoyingly, so you might have to resolve that later. But yeah, you can get like a pipe bend. You apply that, and if you do want these parts to stay flat, you can then just reselect them, flatten them. Oh, actually, probably been better to bend it around here then. Yeah. And then bend that till that goes flat. There, maybe? I mean, or you can take a mesh. And if you do this, so this is going to be like a kind of incorrect way to do it. Then we smooth that. You obviously don't really get a bend. And even if you turn these up, it comes out pretty weird. Because the way that the corner is supposed to work, bend first, make connection later. Yeah, all that. God, my brain is really slow today. How do I usually bend a corner like this? It's this, isn't it? Like you're supposed to have the shape look more like this, right? Kind of. I mean, you can probably find a very quick story that shows it better. Looks like a jelly bean, now a boomerang. Oh, mate, boomerang. There you go. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways. Look up a quick video. I definitely know there's an even better way, and you'll probably find it very quickly in a video. For some reason, I very rarely do perfect 90-degree turns. So, it's like, if I make, like, the first thing I think of is making a cable, and when you make a cable, you can easily just use a, like this. And you, like, select it, like, if I wanted to run up the wall over here, for example. Right, and then you just go into... geometry? Extrude. Object. Extrude? Offset? Nope. There's definitely a way to do it. Depth. There you go. So we turn down extrude, maybe? Yeah. And boom. You now make a wire. So, yeah, for some reason, I very rarely do 90-degree perfect turns. But you probably find a very quick video that shows you how to do it. And then you just convert that to a mesh. And you've got a very nice wire. Oh. How do you keep the same style for a scene? How do you keep the same style for a scene? Is it because of the texture? If I make a character and then a monster for the same image, how do I make them both look like they belong to the same world and not a different one? I don't know how I do that. I just do the same methodology that I'm doing in the first place. And it depends on what piece of art you're doing when trying to do that. So if we look at like my art station, That's not mine. It always goes to these other guys that I worked on. That's a good example. So I made his environment. What's the spline? Well, the thing I just made, like with the cables. Because that's, if you just push Control A, nope, Shift A, sorry, and go curve. Yeah, go curve, and you can either do the basic one or path should work. Yeah, path starts with 5, which is why I like to start with Bezier, which will start with just 2. And then if you press tab to go into edit mode and then select them, and then you right click and you set your handle type to automatic, it'll then start automatically bending to what you want. But if you had a pipe, for example, then this is kind of making it more interesting now, if I can remember how to set this up. So if we had a basic pipe, wish me luck, because I don't know if I'm going to get this right. So we have a pipe. We're going to make, again, just a very, very basic looking one. Something like that. And let's say you had like, you can have the bolts and everything on it, as long as it's part of one mesh. What you can do, now I have to think, is attach this to a curve. I've actually got this on a video on my channel. And then you can array it on the curve, or array first. Oh, well, that's not. Oh, wait, I need more detail this way. Let's make it smaller so it actually fits. There you go. Then as you turn up the array, you get the pipe, follow it. Voila. I'm pretty sure there's an option in here to actually make it fit to curve. But it never fits to curve. Oh, wait. But it never... Oh, it did that time. So you select it, and then you start pulling it. It would automatically pull it for you. Oh, look at that. Whoa. So now we get this curve. Are there plugins for Blender you 100% recommend everyone to have? I don't use a single plugin. At least not a custom one. I've probably got 2 enabled, 1 enabled. Oh my god, magic. Yeah, it's a super... Using curves is super, super nice. I've got some really complex stuff I've done with curves, like a rope. How did I do the rope? The rope was really interesting. But I won't show you how to do that now, just because it was quite convoluted and complex. But yeah. And then, like, if you like, oh, I want to do a bit more of like my mesh, you can bevel it, but you got to make sure you have the bevel first. Yep, have the bevel first. Then we can tighten it. Now we've got some beveled edges. We can then have a weighted normal to make those edges smoother. And voila. And then, because it's a mesh, what we can do is 1, 2, 3. Oh, so if you want to select every other, so if we go like every other, so click 1, hold shift, click the other, then if you push control shift and plus on your numpad, I don't know if plus works on here. Nope, yep, you have to do it on your numpad. It will do whatever you've selected. So if I go a 1, 2, 3, 4 gap or 3 gap and then do it, we will do like that. I think I want a 4 gap, right? Do that. And then what we can do. So this is, I'm flexing now. This is just like some cool tips you can do. Just a tip. We scale each of them down on their own individual axes. There you go. We can extrude. I'm actually going to extrude them not individually. I'm going to extrude them and pull them towards each other. And then I'm going to select. Oh, they're being beveled. I was like, why do they look like that? And then I'm going to select all of them again by pushing plus. Pull them into the surface. So now you've got these. They look kind of bad. But you know what I'm trying to go for? They look a bit like bolts. And look, we've got a pipe going around looking like it's coming around with bolts on it and everything. Advanced type SHIT, yeah. I don't swear, so I have to read it like that. Yeah, you keep adding details, you know, because you're just using a spline to change it. So as long as you're keeping the original mesh, well, I want it to be like, oh, I want some details here. And we've got a bevel already on it, so it'll automatically bevel that. We're getting more complex. And if you want, like, a band in here.
Man, I love 3D. You can do some wacky stuff. It's so cool. You should flex on us by modeling my character. I've only ever modeled one character. Oh, yeah. So if you're... I didn't continue with what I'm saying. Whoa, this comes up at the right now. What? What the heck? I don't like that. About? Oh, wait, no. This is normal. Oh, is this all the stuff I've liked? I've not liked a lot. Jesus. I'm sorry, other artists. Yeah. So when you're replicating a style... It just comes down to... So if you have it all in one substance, it does make it easier. Because obviously you got it right there. But it comes down to replicating how you first made the original mesh, right? So if I'm using certain methodologies to making the first thing, I'm picking up all the curvature, I'm picking up all the ambient occlusion. And then I'm telling it to take details like that. If I replicate that material and then paint it in another way, I can then transfer that over. But it does come down to every single scene. This scene looks different. This is in Unity as well. Then, for example, this scene. But if we look at this scene, a lot of my realistic / stylized looking meshes sort of fit with each other. They don't look like they stand out in the scene. And it's not something I can say exactly how to do. The Ratchet Clank is still your favorite one. Oh my god. I need to improve it. If I can find it, I want to dig through all my folders and try to find it. Wait, where is it? Here. Because I want to make the space like a nebula. Like... Newgrounds. Nebula... Oh, I'm spelling nebula wrong. Nebula... Oh, for God's sake. Nebula. Ah. There you go. I want, like, not quite that. Unreal Engine. No. Space Unreal Engine? No. I mean, that one's kind of cool, you know, like how you got like the slight colors, kind of like that. But I think I kind of want a green tinge to it. You know, No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky Nebula. Yeah. Kind of world map wise. I want that to be sort of the background. I think that'd be really cool. And I can improve on the meshes. I can improve on the rendering. There's a lot of stuff I could do here to improve it. Because it is quite a basic scene, but I've got quite nice assets in there. Like, I've literally modeled the chain going around this. If I did another pass on this, made everything like 4K textures, I could significantly improve this scene. Make a better box. Make this like 4K, because it's probably only like 1K. But I need to find it again. Anyways. I think this is coming along as being one of my favorites. There's just something, there's a charm to it. I don't know if you guys agree, but yeah, definitely. I think I want to do Windows. Is it the right one? It's the right one. If we actually look at the concept, it looks like there's like a streak going across it because it's kind of mimicking the would that work already though? So it's a really weird one because I'm getting it emitting color instead, when in reality maybe I should have had a light coming through. Oh yeah, I need a bush behind here too. Oh yeah, I've not done these. So there's plants that hang down from here. If I can find the blender, there you go. Since those two are pretty damn similar, just by different studios who are fun, but actually pretty cool with each other, you should do a Jack and Daxter. Oh, Dexter, sorry, scene. Oh, the original. Yeah. Precursor Legacy. And the question. How can you extrude more edges or faces using their local space? I can only manage to get them all extrude the same direction.
using their local space. So you're just looking on the normals. So if you want to do the edges or faces, aka a cross, and you want to extrude all sides, as in you've literally got a cross. Like if we, as in, or do you want to make a cross? I can show you either way. So let's make a cross quick. In fact, I can show you. So what you want to do is, if you press E, they're going the same way, right? If you press Alt E, you'll get a section like this come up with extrude face, extrude faces along normals. And I assume that's exactly what you're looking for. Then over here, you can also use another one called individual faces, which will work exactly the same way, but it will do individual faces. The reason that works really well here with what I'm doing is because obviously that's the result I want. But obviously, oh my god, I love you. Obviously, if you're doing something like a sphere and you accidentally select individual faces, you'll get a very funky looking end result. Oh, look at him. Something I used to do all the time when I was younger using Blender was I'd make like a maze, right? Oh, well, I'd make a cube, sorry. Now what I'd do... There's two ways I could do this. I can't remember how I used to do it. I think I used to do this, scroll this down. And then I'd usually just start making a maze shape. So I'd come in... Oh, no, I must have not done it that way. I must have done it the way I'm thinking I did it. Just extrude this down, bring this in, and then you start basically... I swear I randomly did it. I feel like I didn't do it the way I'm showing you guys. But yeah, basically I just start making parts of a maze. Right, and then when you come into here, into fly mode, which I can't remember the shortcut for you guys, so I'll change it. You can come in here and you can start flying around like it's an actual 3D maze. I used to do this all the time when I was younger. Oh, this doesn't lead anywhere. Wait. Doesn't lead anywhere? Why did... What the? There you go. Wait, what the? Wait, how did I make that shape? Oh my god. What did I do? What the? Well, I broke it, but yeah. I used to, for some reason, love doing that. Yeah, so something I forgot about is the plants over here. And I actually kind of modeled one the other day. And I don't know if I want to keep that, because that would work, right? If we look at the shape, I've closed it. Oh my god, how many things have I got up on my other monitor? If I look at the shape, that is kind of the shape it is. I just need to paint it, and that'll probably look kind of right. But I have a better plan. I kind of just want to use actual foliage planes and just bundle them on top of each other. Which I'll probably do off stream. But anyways, we're pretty close to being done. I'll leave the windows as they are for now. In fact, what I could do is... Even though this isn't kind of how it would work, but it will look good for what I'm doing. We'll go ambient occlusion. We'll invert the ambient occlusion. We'll sharpen the ambient occlusion. Oh no, that is not working the way I thought it would. I basically want that. But these parts are not the way I want them. How do they look over here? Oh man.
That is not working the way I want it to. How does curvature work? I might have to manually do it, but it might. Wow, curvature does not do anything at all. Okay, yeah, I might manually draw them to look a bit more like this, where you see those like thick, dark bits there. But yeah, I need to do a bush over here as well. But I have some foliage kits I've made. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a bunch of foliage around here and just overlap them a bunch and just use that and do the same here. Might not look identical, but I think we'll get close enough to what I want and save a headache of making these weird monstrosity shapes. Look what high poly it is. Yeah. What is the entire scene's poly count? 40,000 tries. Not terrible. Considering one sandwich from Starfield is 70,000 tries. Actually, that was faces, not tries, right? I've broken it again. Did you see that? Oh, I fixed it. Oh, no, look. I've got 16 million edges out of nowhere. It breaks all the time in Blender. I don't know what causes it. Okay, yeah, this entire scene is basically just a sandwich from Starfield. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty good. Anyways, I'm going to call it a day. I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, I see quite a few people create their level in Blender and then just import that to UE instead of making it there. Yeah, so I've done that as well. I've done both. So I'll explain this before going. I've done both practices. The benefit of making it all one scene is... especially if you're doing it just for rendering, is I can drag all of this out in one go and just import it in, and we're done when we get into Blender, and I just need to throw some materials on. The problem is when you get into Unreal, their center points will be messed up, right? Because when you export something, you've got to basically make sure you've got the correct origin point, and depending on how you usually export, you then also got to make sure it's center of grid on export. If you don't do that, then they will all be rotating around like this in Unreal. But when I select an asset, it will rotate like this. So I was like, oh, I like this, but I want to scale it up a little bit. It will scale around from the center. So the benefit is that you don't have to make many changes. But the problem is you might end up with some scenarios where you'd prefer to make them separately and then import them so you have complete freedom. A video game will do it like that. It will be rare that in a video game you'll have it as one scene, but as a portfolio piece, it works completely fine. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Let's say, you know what? I'm going to do a stream tomorrow as well. So I'll see you guys. I don't know if you guys are going to be around, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Boom, and